At Direct Service Garage Doors, we are your one-stop shop for all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the garage door companies, and all of technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 501-244-3667, or visit our website at directserviceoverhead.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.
All right, welcome. Let me turn this thing up here. Here we go. Is that better? How you guys doing? 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? The few other SEC fans that we have in here. I don't even know why I say SEC fans. It's a habit. It's a nasty habit. I don't really care how the rest of the SEC is doing. To hell with you. I hate this conference. Yeah. Glad you guys could be here. Do me a favor. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Yeah. It's been a minute since we've done these live shows. So before we get started, I want to say thank you to you people right here, to Patreon supporters. You guys, we've I'm not going to lie to you. We've lost a few people. I don't know what next month's going to look like. I'm kind of not looking forward to looking at that update on Patreon. But if you would consider, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, please consider doing so. Joining Patreon. Of course, shout out to our show sponsor, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. They do it all. They offer same-day services. Affordable outcomes, quality parts, free estimates, and emergency service 24/7, 365 days a year. Better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Again, that's 501-244-3667. All right. Let's see here. How you guys doing? Nice haircut. Yeah, you like that? I had this done like last week. That tells you something, man. I've been swamped. This has been the craziest summer. Even my wife finally admitted not long ago. I don't know if she's listening to this or not, but she admitted, okay, I may have overbooked us this summer. We've gone to Galveston. We went to Silver Dollar City. We went to St. Louis, and we've still got something coming up in December. Not really nice to our pocketbook, but we're going on a cruise in December, so 2022 is just going to be the year of festivities. That's what it is. Let me read chat. Again, I do appreciate you guys. Please share and like the content. This live stream, I didn't get a heads up to you guys. I didn't let everybody know that we were doing this tonight. So, yeah, if you guys want to share the content. Let's go. When does fall camp start? That'll be August 5th. Players, I think, report August 4th. And then Friday, I think it is, August 5th is when they're going to actually – it's probably going to be a team meeting. I have no idea. I haven't asked around. I don't know what – I just know that August 5th is supposed to be the day that it all kicks off. Dirty Balls 32. Personally, I think our wide receivers are going to come out and shine this season. Isaiah Centennial seems like an underrated piece. He's actually commented on a TikTok video I made. Oh, okay, with his highlights. All right. But the kid is... I don't drop F-bombs here. But the kid is blanking fast, man, like really fast. You don't win that many track events out of pure luck. I will say, listen, he is fast. And that's great. But I'm going to start out by saying speed isn't everything, and he is raw, okay? This is from watching his film. This is seeing him play in person, and this is talking to people who know more than I do. He is still raw. I really, really wished he was here during the spring. I'll just say that, and I think I've made that pretty clear. But I agree with you. You're not the number one prospect in the state of Arkansas for no reason at all. He was a good get for them. Montero Knight says, haven't seen him live in a minute. What's up, Ty? Yeah, it's just been a crazy summer, man. And on top of that, I don't like doing a live stream when there is jack shit to talk about. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, pardon my language. It's just not much going on. I mean, it's usually July when this channel and when a lot of content, it's either going to be edited content or the live streams are going to be about nothing. And I don't like that. I like them to have something, some meat and potatoes on the plate. KJ threw some good balls last year. Says Richard Baker. Okay. It won't be long. It won't be long now. Ready? Good video earlier, Ty. Wait. Good earlier. What are you talking about? I didn't drop. Okay. Kevin McPherson and I did an interview. I did an interview with Kevin McPherson. That should be available right now on YouTube, on Hogville Net YouTube. Do me a favor. Wait to watch it, but it's good. I've done a lot of interviews on my time with a certain podcast that I'm not going to mention. Whatever. That's water under the bridge. But on a previous show that I was on, I did a few interviews. I've done a few interviews here. That Kevin McPherson interview was strong. He gives a lot of good stuff, and I highly recommend you guys go and watch it after this show. So I don't know if you're talking about that, but that's a 45-minute long interview, and it just dropped at 6. So I'm not really sure what video you're talking about, but I appreciate it. Thank you. What's up, Brother Hog? How you doing, Doug Stubbs? How's it going, man? With such speedy receivers, I could see this being one of our best seasons to date. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that in just a second. That Mark Rogers moment today, though, BYU, that was great, Tim. I do appreciate that. We were rolling. I want to tell you that was great. I was on Mark Rogers. Oh, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the Mark Rogers interview earlier. My bad. Okay. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Did my first ever live with him. I've never done a live with Mark Rogers. Did you take a shower? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, yes. Okay. I hit that dang Mega Millions, and I'm just gonna buy you and start a national show. There you go. I'm all yours for the right amount of money. No lie, I think my last haircut was the exact same. Hey, I like this style. I like it, 2022 going to be the year of Tin Hog wins, says Mike. All right. Dylan Davis, what's up, Dylan? How you doing? Reminder, I was not the first one to snitch on okay. I'm going to keep scrolling down here. I'm trying to read all y'all. Try to read all these. You're right, Ty. He's young and he has to build his frame. Yeah. Been a while since we could definitely claim to be a preseason. Mm-hmm. Sorry about the F-bomb. Yeah, well, okay, so YouTube does. There are certain words that flag YouTube, and some bigger channels can afford to do it. I won't. And I'm just not a real big fan of the F-bomb. I mean, I say it from time to time, but I definitely won't do it here. What's up, Arizona Tim? Your helmet's looking fancy. It's looking good back there, my man. It's July. It has been hotter in Arkansas. I thought you were in Arizona. Oh, okay. Then it has been in Arizona. All right. That's a sign that football season is going to be hot. There you go. And then Richard says, because your hair looks amazing. Oh, so you were paying me a compliment. Well, I do appreciate that. Okay. In the title, it says Baye Fall, so we're going to talk about him, 5-star center, here in just a second. I also put in that title why I could be wrong about Arkansas wide receivers. So I made a video on Hogville Net talking about red flags. It was the red flags. Honestly, I was going to put in the title and this is why I went with why I could be wrong with wide receivers, but initially it was going to be debating my red flag video on Hogville, but I just couldn't crunch that in with the Baye Fall news, so I just went with why I could be wrong about wide receivers. First, let's get the Baye Fall stuff out of the way here really quick. As of yesterday, Baye Fall was given a crystal ball to Arkansas. Now, I believe this was yesterday. I think it was Curtis Wilkerson. Yeah, it was yesterday. So it was last night, 7:44 p.m. See how he snuck that in there, Curtis? We see you. You snuck that right on in there, didn't you? 7:44 p.m. Someone messaged, because I'll be honest, I don't check crystal balls daily. I don't. I might check them like once every other week. There's a period of time where I'll keep, like January, where I'll really keep an eye on it for football, or December. December in late January is the best time to keep a good eye on, because that's when you've got your signing periods, right? December 15th is your early signing period. That's just the regular signing period now. I just need to call it that. And then February, typically the end of the first week of February, you have your final signing period. So that's when I look up crystal ball predictions. But Curtis Wilkerson of hogsports.com, who, by the way, I guess is 3 for 3 all time, has Baye Fall, 6'10", 205, number one center in the country, number one, I think, player in the state of Colorado. I'm assuming that's the case. He plays at Accelerated Schools in Denver, Colorado, part of that 2023 class. He and then a guy by the name of Trevor, what a badass last name, by the way, Trevor Andershock. Trevor Andershock. Sounds like a Mortal Kombat character. Andershock. Damn. That sounds like a Mortal Kombat character if I've ever heard one. Andershock. Finish him. Fatality. That's awesome. Anyways, he's from Peegs, Peegs.com. He's an Indiana contributor. He also, as of the 26th, has Baye Fall crystal balled to Arkansas. Both their confidence levels are at a 6, according to this screenshot I'm looking at. But big get. That would be a huge get for Arkansas. No idea if there's a window when he's going to go public or when he's going to announce. He would join Layden Blocker, who's a 4-star. He's a .984. Am I reading that right? .984 star point guard, 6'2", 175. Again, don't know. I'm behind this class in basketball right now. I don't know a ton about either of these guys other than their star rating. But I do know Layden Blocker is out of Maumelle, Arkansas, Sunrise Christian High School. Has offers, according to 247, from Auburn, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Alabama. Has a grand total of 21 offers. Yeah, so that'd be great for Arkansas to be able to land this kid. Baye gonna be Baye? Not sure. Hog Dog, hey Ty, sup? Keep the faith, man. On what? Coaches got these guys ready to play. They recruited them to be the best. Can't wait to see the results. Wait. Okay, I get Hog Dog mixed up. Are you the one every time I'm slightly skeptical? Are you the guy that's like, keep the faith? Is that you? Except you don't use those exact words. It's usually like, I'm being negative. Is that you? There's one or two of you that are like, you're so negative, and I'm like, what? I'm just this is what I do. I point out the negative. I point out the bad. Not everything is good. Listen, I'm not the propaganda wing of the University of Arkansas. They may want the media to be overly positive. Look, I'm going to be real with you. Okay, I'd like to think that's why I've been able to do what I've been able to do, and why so many of you like what I do, according to my like to dislike ratio. I'm just going to tell you straight up, man. If you disagree, that's fine. That's what's great about this. We can have kind of a conversation about it. Steve-O says if they're moving Hornsby to wide receiver, it must be an issue, or they just want him to be on the field. I can't wait. We're going to dig into this. I can't wait. Blocker's about to be a 5-star. This is Kieris Henderson. What's up, man? How you doing? Is it Kieris? Am I pronouncing that right? Welcome. I think you're new. I don't recognize the name or the avatar. Hey, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, my guy. Black needs to visit the barbershop. No, he doesn't. I love that, man. It's like when you guys are getting on to me about my flowing brown locks. I'm going to keep my hair the way it is. But then ultimately my wife wanted me to cut my hair. So what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? Okay. By the way, CBS, someone shared this. Was this in my Discord? I got this link somewhere. CBS put out the best in college sports. Some kind of, I don't know if this, it's not BPI. It's not like ESPN's. It's not like that at all. But they have this, like, I don't know. They have this algorithm or this they have a way of rating these universities by some kind of formula that puts together certain sports, right? I don't want to read the entire thing because it is a little wordy here. The national, so maybe it's not. I don't think. Okay, it's not CBS. See, this is what I literally. You guys know how I be. I get this sent to me 5 minutes before I go live, and I'm like, well, I don't have time to read this, but I did find it interesting what I did see on their little chart here. The National Association of College Directors of Athletics, aka NACDA, NACDA, has ranked athletic programs for years by weighing every sport equally. For example, national titles in football and water polo are worth the same number of points. In 2013, CBS Sports began presenting its Best in College Sports Award, utilizing a weighted formula that recognizes sports with more broad interests. So theirs is different from NACDA. Okay, so it is CBS's own thing. Every FBS program is rated in 3 sports: football, men's basketball, and then women's basketball, along with the 2 quote-unquote wild cards among the school's most successful spectator sports, which includes baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer, gymnastics, lacrosse, hockey, and wrestling. Anyways, the weighted formula puts 2.5 times as much emphasis on football, on their version here, and then 2 times as much on men's basketball compared to the rest of sports. That makes sense because, let's be honest, those are the 2 sports that drive college athletics. Baseball's great. It's big down here, but let's be crystal clear here. It doesn't even come close to basketball or football. It's getting better. TV ratings they're doing a little bit better. You know how we know? We're getting more and more exposure of college baseball, but it's still nowhere near basketball and football, especially March Madness for basketball. Teams that do not finish in the AP Top 25 in football but play in bowl games are awarded 62.5 points. Yada, 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 yada. I don't want to read this entire thing. Those that make the men's NIT are given 20 points, while the WNIT teams receive 10 points. So you see what they're doing. They're telling you like what matters the most all the way down to the lowest. All champions in other sports receive 100 points for a national championship in the formula created by longtime CBS sports producer Darren Darst. Okay. Saying all that to say, they have Michigan at number 1. Notre Dame at number 2, Ohio State number 3, North Carolina, which honestly is a little surprising. I realize what they did in basketball, but I'm a little surprised by this. They're just ahead of Arkansas, who finishes 5th. Number 1 in the SEC on their list here for their award for the best in college sports. I found that to be fascinating. The closest SEC school is Alabama at 8th, Georgia at 9th, Tennessee comes in at 13th, Kentucky 15th, Ole Miss, surprising there too. Well, I guess not. I guess baseball carries to some degree. 16th, let's see, scrolling down, looking at the top 25. Auburn comes in at 24th. That's your top 25, and they go all the way down. Good grief. They've got some teams that looks like, are they tied? No, they're not. Well, no, they do. They've got Akron and Massachusetts tied. Well, and Bowling Green and Texas State and Vanderbilt all tied for 100th. So there you go. Arkansas, I mean, you look at this list, it's like, this isn't, don't get me wrong. It's not a metric we're going to look at and take super serial, but it is pretty neat to see Arkansas get, again, they continue to get respect. It's so good to see that, right? All right. What's up, country boy? How are you, sir? Hogs win 9 games again this year. Honestly, after the okay. Anyways, so yeah, pretty interesting that Arkansas could stay. That Arkansas again just continues to rack up some kind of offseason. I don't know. Do you want to call it an accolade? I don't know, but it's best in college sports from CBSSports.com. There you go, top 5. I'll take that. Anything else we could lure over Tennessee to, I'm all about it. I'm all about it, man. All right. Arkansas wide receivers. Is it possible? Is it possible? Ty, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. I had a few people not real happy about my red flag video. It's not anywhere near the most disliked thing I've ever done. Not even close. But there were a couple of comments. Dirty Balls, I think, was in that. Dirty Balls was in that comment section. Some folks didn't really agree, and that's fine. Hey, that's why I'm here. I would like to respond to some of it. What's up, Cobra? How you doing? Matt Jones is faster than KJ. Blah, 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 blah. So I want you guys to tell me I want your top 3 biggest concerns for Razorback football in 2022. And if you saw that video, I had good grief. What was my list? Hang on. Let me look at my script from that show. I have it somewhere printed out. That's not it. Monday show. That's not it. I thought I had it pulled up. I apologize. I do not. Where are you? Where are you? Well, I can't find it now. All my 5 issues are the issues that I had. Well, we know that wide receivers were on there. I swear I had this on here. I swear I had it typed out. Well, okay, that's the 5 reasons why Arkansas wins 9+ games. I may have deleted it. I hope I didn't. I thought I had it pulled up. I had something pulled up. What did I have pulled up? So anyways, we know wide receivers made that list. That's what we know. Left tackle was another one. Haas says, well, no, hold on. Let's scroll up here. Tim says defensive line. Okay, D-line. All right. Cobra says D-line. Wide receiver, linebacker, safety says country boy. Really? Linebacker? I want to follow up to that, country boy. Tell me why linebacker. Ash says D-line and overall depth. Steve-O says 1 wide receiver, 2 through 3 wide receiver. What if injuries? Well, I mean that's always the case, right? If you're adding that to your list, injuries are something that everyone worries about, no matter how good or bad you think your depth is. If Hazelwood can be what he's supposed to be and Catron breaks out, we will be fine at wide receiver. All right. So and again, I didn't go into depth about wide receiver. I didn't go into depth in that video as much as I would like because I was trying to keep it. If you guys haven't noticed, those videos, the goal of those videos is to be under 7 minutes. And knowing that I had more stuff to talk about, left tackle, tight end, and defensive line, I think were the other ones. I would like to have gone in depth in all of them. I'd like to have really break down every position more so. the reason why wide receivers made that list was because of the unknowns. Hazelwood has not come anywhere near, in terms of performance on the field, has it come anywhere near that kind of 5-star status. I do know some OU fans. Actually, now that I think about it, I know several. Being around here, though, they're here. Some of them not so bad. Some of them are what they are. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're not crying over him transferring. And I don't mean that as a diss towards Hazelwood at all. Simply saying they don't think that's a big loss for them. Now, I think it's a big gain for Arkansas. I think it's a big gain because Warren Thompson, big-bodied, athletic, Mark Rogers and I kind of have this ongoing back-and-forth joke about how much praise I give Warren Thompson despite the fact the guy's not really ever done anything, whether at Florida State or at Arkansas. The only thing he's really managed to do is drop a lot of balls. That's someone you want to throw on that list of guys where it's like that dude could be a baller if only, right? Hazelwood, it's why I toss him in the I don't know what we have category, right? I don't know what we have in him. In that system, he couldn't excel. That's a system that's built for wide receivers, for more than just a single wideout to have success. Now, he did lead them in a couple of categories. I think it was receiving touchdowns. What was it, 6? And then receiving yards maybe. But not exactly mind-blowing numbers, right? You're just not looking at a guy who blew the doors off the hinges in Norman, Oklahoma. Didn't happen. Now, he's also struggled with some injuries, and I agree with that. I still think he has a high ceiling, and I still think he could come in and do some damage. So really the other side of this this entire argument is that, well, actually, Katron Jackson, former 4-star, a guy that Texas wanted badly, several schools wanted badly. He picked Arkansas, came in last year, had some slight moments. If I remember right, even had a touchdown called back that was, I think an offensive lineman went too far downfield or something, and they had to call it back. I'm pretty sure he had a score called back. You do have an incoming class of freshmen that, honestly, if they stick it out here, and I hate that we have to think about this now because of the portal, it's just that's the nature of it. If a guy gets beat out or if a guy doesn't see immediate playing time, it's always in the back of your head, well, crap, is he going to transfer? But if these guys stick it out, I think long-term, my God, you're set up at wide receiver. The potential is there. And so that was really the other side of that I didn't get to explain in that Red Flags video. And I even said in that video, hey, look, they barely make this list. I didn't go into the other side as to why they wouldn't make the cut if I'm talking about the 3 things that worry me the most. I think the tight end situation is more worrisome than the wide receiver situation. And also that video, too, was talking about if you don't get to your ceiling, which I believe is somewhere between 9 and 10 wins, here's some reasons why. Well, we could be looking back on, the receivers, no one really stepped up. If you look back at the last 2 years with Kendall Browse as your play caller, it's been Treylon Burks and really nobody else. Now that's gone. You don't have Mike Woods. Mike Woods, 1 year, the only year that he was here with Kendall, made up, I think, half the numbers, little more than half than Treylon Burks' total receptions. An average like 18 and a half yards per reception. He's not here. Clearly he's gone on. He went to Oklahoma, and now I don't even know. Did he get drafted? What happened to him? I don't even know. So that's kind of been the issue. We haven't seen someone else step up and share the workload. Now, look, when you got someone like Treylon Burks, that's understandable. But that's where some of the questioning comes into play. You look at their distribution over the last 2 years, it's not it's not great. It's all to Burks. It's mostly to Burks. Last year's no exception. Last year's worse. Now, Tyson Moore's had some moments. Again, Warren Thompson had a couple of nice moments. Katron Jackson. But that's where that's the not knowing what you have. Or, let me put it this way. Not seeing it in action on a week-to-week basis a year ago is where that question mark comes into play. You look at some of the guys that were here a year ago that didn't make a splash, right? You look at some of the guys too that transferred in. How many of them were blowing things up where they're coming from, right? You look again, Jaden Hazelwood from Oklahoma. You could talk about the 6'6" kid, Matt Landers, who's coming here from Toledo. Not great numbers, not exactly numbers that are mind-blowing. I think he did have a nice yards per reception number, but most of that was because he had a single reception for 90 yards, so that bumped his numbers up. To me, it's one of the biggest question marks on this team. Who the hell is stepping up at wide receiver? Jaquelin Crawford, another OU transfer. That kid, he didn't do anything a year ago. In fact, I'm not even sure. Did he have at least a couple of catches a year ago? I don't think so. You've got Landon Rogers, who's moved back and forth, and I guess he's going to play wide receiver. And then you got a bunch of freshmen. And then you have Warren Thompson, the kid that transferred in from Florida State, who I talked about earlier, who's dropping balls. There's no certainty at the position, and I think that's where the skepticism comes from. But why I think I could be wrong is simply because of the ceiling that the talent that's in that room is incredible. I mean, when you look at high school, when you look at what folks have said about some of these cats, I mean, hell, Matt Landers kind of reminds you a little bit of a freshman Trey Knox. Like when you watch his film, he's not a speed demon, but he's a guy who can jump up and grab those 50-50 jump balls, and that should be the case. He's 6'5", 6'6", whatever it is. They have different elements in that receiving core. Isaiah Centenia, assuming he comes in and is given the opportunity, knows the system, is bought in, is coachable, and is patient, could find his way onto the field pretty quick. I feel like Isaiah is going to get pushed. He's just too much raw talent with Isaiah Centenia. Now, again, he's raw in some other areas. I think there were some questions about route running. Coming off jams from wide receivers. Does he have the strength? When you consider, he was number one prospect in the state of Arkansas, but the level of competition, we're not talking about Texas high school, right? We're not talking about that caliber of competition. But again, I've seen him play in person. Know people that have watched him play plenty. He could flat out dominate a game. Now, that was at the high school level as a junior and senior. We'll see if he can carry that. We can see if that translates to college. There's other names too that we don't talk enough about. Quincy McAdoo. That's a bigger bodied receiver, 6'2.5", 180 pounds. Who's the other kid? Samuel Baye, who I'm a big fan of. I really hope this kid sticks it out here. Again, I'm only saying that because you just never know anymore, and that's not anything that I've heard that anyone's thinking about transferring. You feel the need to have to say that because of the portal, the way things operate, But I hope I think he's got a higher ceiling than his stars allude to. I think he got dropped down to a 3-star, which was funny how that worked out because when the rumors started swirling that he was going to be a Razorback commit, then he drops from a 4 to a 3-star. I don't know if some of you remember that or not. So the talent is there. The raw talent is there. It's just a matter of seeing it all translate to the field week to week. If someone asked me if you had to do it over again, would you put the receivers on that video still? And I think I would because they're still unproven. And when you look at the last 2 years, there's no handoff to the next guy. Like, we don't see that. When the big three left, right, when you had Joe Adams, Jarius Wright, Greg Childs, when they left, we knew who the next guy up was. It was Kobe Hamilton, and that happened. Didn't have a good year because Baye was a dumbass, and the rest is history in 2012. Kobe Hamilton was the man. I think he holds a record or something at the U of A for receptions in a season or something like that. He was the man. You knew who that next guy was, the next guy up. You knew who that was. We don't know who that is. It's a big question mark. You've got the talent there, but listen, just because you have the star power in that room doesn't mean jack shit if they can't get it all put together on the field. I think they do. I think someone stands out. I lean towards maybe it's Warren Thompson, maybe it's Katron Jackson. Maybe it's someone we're not even talking about. Maybe it's Bryce Stevens, another guy who's got some speed behind him, by the way. But that's why I think I could be wrong about the wide receiver room is simply because you can't overlook the raw talent that they have in that room. It's probably the most talented room or the most talented pieces in that receiver room that you've had since the Petrino era. And that was a pretty good time. I think we're all aware of what that was all about and what was going on then and what they were capable of. Different offense today. You're not going to have 3 receivers plus 35 catches. That's not going to happen. But someone's going to stand out. Now, is there anyone that can actually fill the role that Treylon Burks had in this offense? I think I don't know. That's the $1 million question. I have no idea. But can someone get close to those numbers? What do you have? 60-something catches? Yeah, I think so. I just don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. Let me scroll up here. Woods is is he in Cleveland? Okay. All right. Thanks, Alex. In this 5th or 6th round. Okay. Hey, Ty, this is off topic, but were you aware of Jay Will being the first player of the Vietnamese descent? Oh, I did not know that. That's crazy. Good for him. Landers had a similar stat line to what Woods did in 2020. This is going to be the best team in a decade. We're going to be solid damn near at every position except I don't know about that. I don't know about being solid at every position, Camo. I think defensive line and left tackle just really has me concerned. When you're talking about Luke Jones, a guy who's been considered heavily an interior offensive lineman, when you're talking about moving him out to left tackle, I don't know, man. Obviously, coaches probably know something we don't. Maybe he had a couple of good practices over there, and they're gonna. I don't know. Teams will stack the box until these receivers prove they can make plays, and some will desperately needed to take the top off with deep balls. That's something that has to happen this year. Is we got to see them stretch the field. We didn't see that near enough last year, and to think they had this kind of wild success on the ground without really stretching the field is incredible. I mean, I am so damn excited about the run game, but it's like if they can stretch the field, oh my God, Arkansas's offense it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be something to watch if they can do it. If they can find the guy, and I think pretty highly of a couple of these. What's the potential grade of the wide receiver room based off the raw talent? Oh, I don't know. I mean, the average star has got to be close to 4 stars when you compare out of high school. When you look at Jaden Hazelwood, someone said linebackers earlier. I forgot who that was. I was looking for an explanation. I'm curious why someone thinks our linebackers could be concerning because I think Bumper Pool and Drew Sanders, that could be outstanding. That's going to be a hell of a 1-2 combo on the field. Ty, my position of greatest concern is the 3rd string water boy. All right. Will KJ grow his numbers with touchdowns, rushing, and receiving yards? I don't know about receiving yards, but yeah, I think he's going to have – I don't know about more rushing yards. He had 600 – he led the team in rushing. That's not going to be the case this year. I don't think so. I think it's going to be either Rocket. It could be any one of those guys. It really could. It could be any one of those running backs. Pick a name out of a bowl, or pick a name out of a hat. It could be any one of those wide receivers. It's incredible. Or running backs, sorry. It's unreal. If our run game is good and consistent in every game, then we should be in the game with a chance to win every time. Yeah. Dirty Ball says not only that, but a defensive team that will have potential to dominate both sides of the ball. Bet we'll see more double pass with Hornsby. You probably will. Behind the 10-yard line, they're gonna try the double pass. That's something else that I did not talk a lot about. I didn't mention Matt Landers in that video, and I didn't mention Malik Hornsby at wide receiver. This was another reason why I had pause for concern about wide receiver. and it should have been in that video. I'm sure that this is a case of the coaching staff, Kendall Briles, Sam Pittman, wanting to find ways just to get the ball in the hands of that freak athlete. That dude, speed-wise, I don't know if I'm not saying he's a Matt Jones type of freaking nature. I'm not saying he's a Darren McFadden or one of those guys, Peyton Hillis. But he's got crazy speed. So it's clear that they want to utilize his speed and his athleticism in one way or another. My thing has always been, look, if you're going to play him at wide receiver, move him to wide receiver. Let him have full attention and development at that position. And so that made me think, too, surely they've considered that. So then the next kind of logical conclusion is, wait, are they worried about wide receiver? Is this why they're trying to get him out there? Like, you're risking him getting hurt. Listen, KJ Jefferson, we all know he's one of the most physical physical quarterbacks in the game of college football, maybe in all of football. This dude runs through people, and he's not afraid of contact. He has been banged up. He's had to miss time. You're going to risk putting him out on the field as a wide receiver. Maybe you line him up in the slot. And I know we saw a little bit of this last year when they kind of ran some little, but this year there was an actual determination. We're going to move him out there and we're going to run some plays, which indicates to me they're taking it more seriously and they're going to move him out there, and that's where he's going to play to some degree. And oh, by the way, he's going to be our backup quarterback. Are they that concerned about wide receiver, or are they that concerned about the backup quarterback position? I mean, I get it. You lost a guy, late last year who's not going to be able to play. This is why I'm concerned about wide receiver. So maybe some of you who were, and I'm talking to you, dirty balls, who said that I was, red flag question mark on the comment section. Maybe now you're starting to see you've got my glasses on now. Like, oh, well, no, okay, that I get it. Yeah, that's true. And I'm not saying you necessarily have to agree with me, but maybe you kind of see where I came to that conclusion. Again, looking at the track record, right? Looking at the fact that Burks was, 60% of your passing game last year. Year before that, it was a little less, but not much. And no one else really. No one else has really stepped up. No one else has been that next guy up. We don't have a clear indicator as to who that next guy is. We don't know. Not based on last year's numbers, you sure as hell don't. And then you've got the situation with Malik Hornsby where it's like, well, why are they risking putting him out there? That's a risk. That's a big risk, especially when your quarterback, this offense, he's going to run the ball probably 10, 12, 14 times a game. He's going to take a lot of hits. And that's not even including design pass plays where he's going to take hits, right? Or sacks. When you tally it all up, he's going to be the most banged up player every game. He's going to take the most contact behind maybe a running back, right? But the thing is, too, running backs are running back by committee. Not everyone's going to get 10 carries. So, I think it's a huge risk if they're moving Hornsby, and that's what really started me down that path of, oh, shit. Is there something going on in the wide receiver room that we don't know about? So, it's still a red flag for me. Yes, it would still make that list, but I could be wrong because maybe Hornsby's just that much of a baller of a wide receiver. Now, someone earlier in our Discord said he had a bunch of drops in our spring game. I would have to go back and watch that. I don't remember him. Maybe he did have a drop or two. I don't know. But maybe Hornsby's just that much of a baller. And I think we could all agree. We all know how athletic that dude is. He takes up 10 yards like that. Why wouldn't you want the ball in the hands of a playmaker like that? Of course you would. So it could be nothing. It could just be, you know what? We want to throw him out there. But it's such a risk. Because if he goes down and KJ goes down, what the hell are you left with? You're not left with a quarterback. So, I think it's a risk. Sincerely, my greatest of concern is who plays behind Knox. Warren Thompson's going to have a great year. I think Warren, if anyone, and I've been on the Warren Thompson bandwagon. I'm not even going to lie. For the last 2 seasons, I think the potential of Warren Thompson is high, man. I mean, go back to his high school film. Go read whatever. Go find an article written about him. And I think some of his drops last year were mental. If he can put that behind him this year, he could be spectacular. This is just a low-key way to move Hornsby to wide receiver. They can't do it officially because Hornsby still wants to be quarterback, in my opinion. And I hear that, Mike. Again, that doesn't negate the risk. Even if he's not catching the ball, even if they're just throwing him out there to block downfield or whatever, I have a hard time seeing him block downfield. But just putting him out there is a risk. Guys get hurt away from the ball all the time. That happens all the time. So it's just a risk, and I don't know that it's worth it. I really don't. Now, I hope I'm eating my words and he goes out there and he's just a straight baller. Just absolutely kicks ass. 50, 40, 50, 60 catches, 700-800 yards receiving, 5, 6, 7 touchdowns. And then he comes in as a backup and throws, just blows our heads away. And then we have that Ryan Mallett to Tyler Wilson fill at quarterback. Like, yeah, we know we got something. Or if he's doing those numbers at wide receiver, then they're probably going to keep him in wideout. Hornsby just wants to play. He knows he's a weapon. Here's the thing. Sam Pittman admitted that when Hornsby was in the portal, when he came out of the portal, it was Sam Pittman, not Malik Hornsby, Sam Pittman, who went to him and said, but you're going to play wide receiver. I don't think it was I want to be on the field. I don't think it was a Trey Knox, Peyton Hillis kind of thing. You remember Peyton Hillis wanted to play linebacker when Darren McFadden and Felix Jones took over all the carries, right? Trey Knox went to the staff last year and was like, look, put me at tight end. I don't care. That's not what this was. I initially thought that, but that's not what, if I remember Sam Pittman saying clearly, it was, that was one of the stipulations when he came out of the portal. You're going to move to wide receiver. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Or not move to wide receiver, but you're going to get snaps at wide receiver. If Hornsby becomes a threat at wide receiver, it'll open up the run game. Well, anybody, Dan, anybody who's a threat is going to open it up for sure. KJ not getting respect from the experts. Boy, you're not wrong there, Tim. Shouldn't be a concern. Who cares what they say? It's a perfect opportunity for him to prove them wrong on the field. Yeah, I just – Pro Football Focus, I don't even think they put him in their top 3 quarterbacks. Meanwhile, they gave Jalen Catalon a lot of respect, but yeah, KJ's, I don't know, man. He's just, you know how it is. You know how it is when you're at Arkansas. You have to extra prove people wrong. That's how it is. Baseball, you're going to get all the respect in the world. D1, baseball.com, who are the other ones? There's several. They all love Arkansas, right? Basketball, you're seeing the media finally kind of turn around, right? Muss has gone back-to-back Elite Eights. They've got the number 2 signing class. Again, Kevin McPherson video kicks a lot of ass over on Hogville Net YouTube. You guys need to make sure you go watch that after this. But with football, it's just not there yet. You don't have the respect. You've got to try extra hard, especially at a position like quarterback. Maybe, again, they're seeing something that we're not. I don't know. I mean, they're very analytical. They do everything by numbers and all that. I don't know how well they do as far as projections. I've not looked that far into it, but I was a little surprised he didn't make, I think it was their top 3, maybe top 4. Then again, maybe they haven't updated one since then, but I don't know. You really want to see Renfro or Fortin? I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah. Renfro, yeah. Well, we know what's going on there. Thompson got the yips after UAPB. Hopefully he comes out and shits on him. He had a couple drops before that game too, though, Haas. That's kind of what gives you pause. I think we'll get more of a definitive answer once the season starts, just seeing what they can get. Yeah. My biggest question mark is how much of an impact will Landon Jackson have? I heard he's talented but raw. Talented, raw, and injured. He's I think he's going to get full go for fall camp, but he's been kind of restricted. Tim Tebow and Will had Will blah, 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 Anthony Richardson. Yeah, I saw that. That's Tebow. Can you name the last time you felt like he really gave Arkansas much respect? I mean, again, when you're Arkansas, you have to really, really prove that you belong. And it's unfortunate. I think a lot of teams are sleeping on KJ, or a lot of these analysts are sleeping on KJ. Ty, what's your ceiling for wins this year? That's a tough one. And I've given this some thought. When I was on Mark Rogers' show earlier today, someone had asked if 11 wins was crazy. It was actually Tim, if he's still in chat. I think 11 wins could be their ceiling. But it's going to be so difficult to get there because of the SOS, because of the strength of schedule, because of the week-to-week grind. It's just ridiculous. There's not really an easy week outside of when Bobby Petrino comes to town. And if you don't think he's going to be pumped up for that game, not saying that he's going to come within 2 scores, but it could be difficult, right? I think 11 is probably the ceiling. I just have a hard time seeing them get there unless, well, I don't know. I mean, KJ is going to have to really put on a show this year. Receivers are going to have to be, which is entirely possible, but receivers are going to have to be balling. That's for sure, right? The whole team. Defensive line is going to have to prove me wrong. Left tackle, whoever the hell plays over there, is going to have a huge impact on that offensive line. Listen, this run game is going to be unbelievable. It was good last year. I think they could be as good or better this year. That's hard to do. I think they finished 7th, in rushing offense, or 8th, somewhere in the top 10. With this schedule, that's the thing. You've got to weigh the schedules, right? You got to look at who you're playing. But they flat out bulldozed some really good front sevens last year. It's what kept them in games. The passing game, the vertical part of this offense, stretching the field out. You're going to have to do it. It's got to be stretched out, right? And I just have a hard time seeing it all come together because defensive line, left tackle, tight end, you don't have an every down tight end. Do you? Is Trey Knox an every down tight end? And I kind of went over this in that red flags video. I said, when he subs out, is it going to be obvious when he comes back in that, oh, well, they're probably going to throw the ball? Because a tight end in this offense is a kick out blocker. He's either kicking out or he's going in the pile. It's a physical position in this offense, and it's also one that's going to be relied upon for check down throws and things like that. Is he an every down tight end? I don't think so. I could be wrong. He walked 10 feet from me at that camp Otis Kirk and I went to about, 4 weeks ago? He looks the part, man. He looks the part, but we'll see. Jury's out on tight end. And like I think Haas said it best, I've got a question. Who's your tight end number 2? Is it Sutherland? Is his name Colin Sutherland? Nathan Bax is going to be a blocking tight end. All the tight ends. Aaron Outley, is he going to participate this year? And what's funny is they have a bunch of tight ends on that roster, whether they're scholarshiped or not. They've got a lot. So it's really anybody's guess as to who could actually, who's going to be out there. Is Hudson Henry, 6'5", 260, redshirt junior. He's been in this offense for 2 years. Maybe he finally lives up. Who knows? Maybe we're sleeping on that kid. I don't know. Dax Courtney. Like I said, I think Nathan Bax, maybe who's it? Lee Lee. I forget his name. I think he's a walk-on out of Little Rock. Is that right? No. He's from Northwest Arkansas. I don't know. Anyways, they've got a bunch of tight ends, but I don't know that they have an every down tight end. And you know what? To be honest, that's kind of always been the case with Kendall here, though. Like they substitute and they kind of rotate tight ends, but the thing is it going to be really obvious when Knox comes out on the field? Oh, they're going to throw the ball. Shocker. The good thing about Knox is that he was already a physical blocker, but there's a difference between being a receiver blocking downfield on a 190-pound corner and a 230-pound rush end, right? Big difference, right? And I know you know that, Haas, but I've heard that time and time again. You're not wrong. He was a great downfield blocker. In fact, he might have been one of the best downfield blockers I've seen. And that is a nice attribute, the idea that, you know what, I'm down for blocking downfield. I can do it. That mentality is perfect for tight end, right? Some guys are built for it, some guys aren't. We'll see if he is or not. But he's my favorite hog. I'm not even going to lie about it. He's my favorite hog right now. Last year it was Jalen Williams because of his toughness, because of that big smile on his face, because he was a teammate. Trey Knox, not as smiley, but he's putting it all out there, man. He's out there for his boys. And he wanted to play tight end. That takes a tough individual, especially in this offense, right? He's a freshman, but Ty Washington could play. Yeah. How about our boy Burks getting back in the shape? Yeah. Proved him wrong, didn't he? And then their Tennessee media is throwing a damn fit. Tennessee media is throwing a fit. Oh, no, he's oh, God, what are we going to do? Our first round pick. And then he goes out there and he has a hell of a catch. And has a great day. And then all of a sudden their media shuts up. It's amazing how that works. How's the O-line? Any updates we need to hear about? Not yet. Wait till fall camp. We'll find out. Left tackle, again, still a question mark. Elvin Gully says if the wide receivers step up as a unit, maybe we can go with just one tight end. Outley and Knox are about the same. Outley was a big human being coming out of high school. Do we have an update on his? I want to pull up that depth chart. Hang on. Pull up the roster. Do we have an update on some of these guys, their sizes? Let me scroll down. They have Aaron Outley at 6'4", 268. Trey Knox they have him at 6'5", 233. Based on the last time I saw Aaron Outley, he's a hoss. He's a hoss, but had a devastating injury his senior year in high school. And I don't know that he's the same. I don't know if he's the same player or not. I don't know. If they went from calling him fat and lazy, the next day they're calling him Megatron. That's Tennessee fans, though, for you, isn't it? Be honest, y'all, you miss Chad Morris, and you know it. He'd have us 12-0 by now. He just needed one more year. T-Dub's on it today. All right, go watch the Kevin McPherson interview on Hogville.net. Oh, it's Hogville.net YouTube. Go subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's a fantastic interview. I thought he did. I don't know. I'm a D-, but Kevin McPherson was A+ in that interview. So go watch that. Make sure you subscribe, like it, share it, all that stuff. Same thing here. Make sure you share and subscribe. And yeah, we're gonna have a Discord for those of you who are in Discord. We're gonna have an event. Let's see. We're gonna have an event. Hold up. Why are there people in there already? Oh, because it's supposed to start now, isn't it? It's supposed to start now? I thought I had it set for 8. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys over there. We're going to go right there. Those of you who are here, we're going to go into that live stream in Discord. So I'll see you guys there. If not, thanks for being here. I do appreciate you guys. Again, shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company, the show's sponsor. And again, if you guys want to be Patreon supporters of Tuss Talk, I would greatly appreciate it. That link is provided for you as well down below. All right? Okay. I will be back. I doubt we'll do anything tomorrow, but next week I'm going to try and put together maybe an interview here on Tuss Talk. And I'm also trying to get with Dudley Dawson on Hogville.net. He and I are going to set aside some time, and we're going to chat. You guys know all about Dudley. He's the man. Kevin's the man. Otis Kirk's the man. And now I'm going to get Dudley Dawson next week for Hogville.net. So look forward to that content. I'll see you guys here next week. Don't have a time or date. I'll just try to keep you guys up to date in our Discord. All right. I'm going over to our Discord live chat. I'll see some of you over there. Woo pig.